This is a product review on this Stasun. I don't know if that's the proper pronunciation. It's a light, 150 watt. It's three 50-watt panels. I'm going to do the product review, and I've already recorded all that, but here's the light sitting in this other box, and I forgot to mention the name of the product. And so, yeah, Stasun is the brand name, and it's a good LED light. And I will put links on the description of this video to the website where you can buy directly from the source, or you can also, I'll have a link for the Amazon website. And one nice thing about Amazon is you can see other people's comments on the light. You can find out the pros and cons and what other people's experiences are with these lights by looking at the reviews. I guess this will be an unboxing and do some kind of a demonstration with this. This is a light that I have not even opened the box yet, and it's going to be similar to this LED light that I have mounted up here over my work area where I work on electric motors and alternators and stuff. It's going to be similar to that light, except this one's supposed to have 3 panels on it. The manufacturer, or the seller, contacted me and asked me if I would be interested in doing a video on that, and I said, well, yeah, I like lights, because I got a lot of places where I need to put lights and just never did. So let's see what we got in here. Let me get this box opened up. I'm going to pull this stuff out of the box first, and we'll just set the thing up and see what we got here. Well, looking down inside, sorry about that, I'm trying to hold this still while I look at this adjustable pivot point there. So you can change the angle of this. I don't know how far it'll change. Well, you probably have quite a bit, because this mounting bracket is going to be out here like that. And you can mount that. That is adjustable. See those crescent shaped holes there? That's adjustable. So you can mount it this way, like this way. Looks like you can even mount this thing straight up and down and mount it on something like that. So you've got quite a range of that. And these side lights are adjustable as well, but looks like they're only going to go outwards. They're not going to turn inwards, which you don't really need that anyway. All 3 of them facing like they are right now, flat, they're going to put a lot of light on one area. But you can turn these outwards, loosen these screws up and turn these outwards and get a little bit more area coverage. I took one of these off, not off, but loosened it up to see just how the contact is in there. And these wires are securely mounted in those clips there, inside those spring clips on the connector. And so I'll screw that back down. Then on this end of the wire we got a surge protector, and I'm not going to mount this light. I really don't have time to put it where I would like to put it. If I were going to mount it in this garage, I would have put it where that one is, but that one is already there. So we will mount it on a wall in here someplace and just do a temporary quickie. I'll probably just shove these in an extension cord, 2 of them anyway, the white one and the black one. The green one doesn't matter. That's a ground, but for a temporary, just to see watch the light turn on. We don't need the green one for that. Well, that light really is bright. I mean, for just being 150 watts, I think that's really bright. Like I said, I was just going to stick that in a extension cord just long enough to watch the light turn on. And let me, where's my focus here? There it is. Let me turn on this other light that I have up here and try to compare the two. So here's that one on the wall up there, and then of course that one's mounted up high and it's going to light up the room more. But I think it's probably, I think this light is brighter, this one down here. I think it is brighter for 150 watts. That's a really good light. It is bright. And they have bigger ones and smaller. There's a little paper that came with it. It's showing some of the different sizes of lights they have, and the area that it will cover, and how much it takes to run it all the way, you know, from 90 watts up to 450. This one's kind of on the lower end of the mid-range, and it's quite bright for inside or for another place that I would use this. Is when I'm working out in front of my shop, I've got these lights up here that those are old. That's before LED. I mean, LED existed back then, but it was in its infancy, and I put these things up probably 25 years ago when I built this garage, and they are they light up. They do okay. There's two of them up there. They got 500 watt a piece, quartz halogen, so they're going to burn more power. And there's another one in here next to that light that's not turned on right at the moment. So mounting this light can be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little different than the way most lights mount, but it has options that you don't have with other lights. And here's one, this mounting bracket. As you can see, you've got this adjustment here on both sides. It goes all the way around. You can mount it this way or anywhere in between, or straight down like this if you've got something you can mount it on where it will stand in this position like it is on this box. Now, one thing I saw on someone else's review on this is that this bracket seemed to be a little wobbly, and so if you mount this thing outside where the wind can get to it, you may want to add an extra brace to it someplace. I'm not sure how I would do that. I would just have to improvise something. If this bracket is on here like so, then I may want to add another little brace from here, or maybe on from here down to the post down below to secure it a little more when it's windy. And then, I'm sorry I'm doing all this holding the camera in my hand. This here, you'll just have to bundle this up and hide it behind this area here. Actually, I think this light's better if it's under the eaves of a house or a barn or something, or inside, like inside my shop here. But I have a good place where I could mount this light outside. Under the eaves here, I have these old halogen lights, and I can mount this light right there. I I don't know that I can mount it on that box though. That would be tricky. But I could put the wire right inside that box. I can just drill a hole in that box and put a little gland on there that will hold that wire tight and waterproof, and I can just mount the light either above or below that, and it won't get as much wind here underneath that overhang. I have two lights out here like that, and so I do have to do some work on this truck. This is my work area here on this pad here, this concrete pad. This is where I work on things a lot of times when I have to do it outside because I can't bring it inside. So yeah, mounting is going to be just a little bit more work. You'll have to improvise and find out what you want to do, and you'll just have to bundle this extra wiring up and hide it behind here with some wire ties. And then this one here, of course, I'll show you what those glands are. Here's a bag of glands. I'll have to open it up. Maybe I don't really have to open it. Here's one right here, a bigger one. This is different sizes here. Now the package came with these screws to mount, these stainless steel screws to mount this bracket on the back, and it came with these concrete anchors. So it does not have any paperwork telling me what to do with this. So there's two concrete anchors, so I just assume you drill a hole in your concrete or in the mortar if it's bricks or whatever, and then you knock these anchors in there and tighten them down, and they'll swell up inside the hole and stay there. And I guess you would mount that onto this. The gland that fits this out of that assortment pack is called a PG7 in my case, and that just slides on there. You know, you put your outside weatherproof cap on first. There's a little rubber bushing that goes inside this, and when you tighten this nut down, this little piece here squeezes tight on that rubber bushing and keeps it watertight, keeps it waterproof. And then this side here, of course, like I said, you're going to drill a hole. It looks like it's going to be about 7/16, maybe half an inch. Hole would suffice. You drill that right through the side of the little electric box, anywhere that looks convenient. Of course, you take the cover off and move your wires out of the way before you drill a hole, and then you tighten this up on there, and then it wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of sealer around there or some caulk, and then you just wire nut these onto your wires inside the box according to your colors. You know, your white goes to your neutral and your black goes to your line. Either goes to a black or a red wire, and then your green is going to go to, you know, you're going to put that on a ground. So very easy to hook that up to a box, but it's not easy to mount this on a box. I don't even think I would recommend doing that. I think I'd mount it separate. Tuck these wires in here, roll them up, and tie them in place with a wire tie, and then you can put this on your box for your power. And then this little surge protector has, you know, a couple little screw holes. You can mount that if you want to, or you can wire tie this. You know, if you keep it all close enough, you can just wire tie all of that together in there and just put this in your box. But do a neat job. Don't leave anything hanging loose. Birds may try to put a nest in there. I don't know if you want to try to do something to keep that from happening. I don't think you can. They're going to do it. I'm going to try to mount this thing real quick temporarily on the wall and not hook it up, just right here on the wooden wall in my shop. And I got a screw in here, a drywall screw with a couple of washers, just to hold the thing in place. Now if you get more screws out here, and I don't recommend drywall screws, I recommend something bigger than that, like small lag bolts with washers. Put these down, all three of them if you can, and because this can wobble a little bit, but if you get the screws farther out here like that, it'll wobble less in the wind. So let me put that light up here on this. Okay, once again, since I didn't get any instructions, I just have to use what little bit of common sense I have as a former mechanic, and I do a lot of construction work as well, so I'm pretty familiar with this sort of thing. And what I'm seeing here is two larger bolts, 5/16 thread. That's what they look like. They probably could be metric. They probably are. And then some smaller ones that look like what would be 1/4-20s in the SAE threads, but these might be more like a 6mm, and these might be more like a 8, I don't know, 8mm or something, I don't know. But anyway, let's see. The bigger ones we'll put right in the middle holes right there, and then we'll put the smaller ones on the adjustable hole out here. We'll try that out. Alright, this is something I cannot do with just two hands. I'm going to need three. So what I'm going to do, since I'm alone, I'm just setting this thing on top of there right now, and I'm going to put first bolt through here, but I'm going to take this longer bolt and shove that through on the other side to hold things in place while I assemble this side. You know, right through that same bigger hole. I'm going to do that through the other side and hold that so it doesn't fall apart, because it's awkward to try to do that with two hands. I need two hands, one on this side to hold this bolt and the other one to start the nut on the other side. So I need two hands for that alone. So that's why I'm going to shove this bolt in there, just to hold that in place for me. Alright, there's that bolt shoved in there just to hold that on, so that I can use my other two hands to put this bolt in here. I ended up flipping this thing upside down, still hanging by that long bolt I shoved in there, 5/16 bolt, about 3 inches long. It's still hanging by that, so I'm going to go on ahead and put this side together. I can't do it without putting the camera on a tripod. There, we got a tripod now. Let's see if we can do this a little better. Okay, there's one. The other one's going to be the same thing. Just pull this bolt out and do it that way. It's either do it like I'm doing it now, or you take these off top and bottom and you mount this thing and then put this back on. Either way, I guess would work. So I'm not going to put those adjustable ones in for the video. I'm just going to go on ahead and turn this and say, well, there we have it. Excuse me. You can turn this any way you want to. And these lights have quite a range of adjustment, as you can see. Turn that one way out that way, or this one, and the middle one can also adjust somewhat. And all three of these lights are identical as far as I can tell, and they're, you can see, about 1/3 of the way across is where the pivot point is, and the wings on this thing here is longer on this end than it is over here. The pivot point is here, here, and here. This one's in the center, so this light is a little bit to the left of the center because of that, and this one that they're all just a little bit farther to the left of the center. So I don't know if that's going to affect anything or not. I don't know why it would. So it's just not quite centered. The weight's going to be a little bit farther to the left, unless you flipped it over and put it on the other direction. But I got the wires on the bottom. So anyway, I think that probably is going to finish my video. I'm not going to do a complete installation because I don't want the light here, and it's winter time. I don't have time to do this. I put the light wherever I'm going to keep it. I'm not even sure where I'm going to keep it yet, but I will bundle this stuff up and hide it behind here and neatly tuck it in there and use some plastic wire ties on that, and then and then I'll put this in the electric box. Or another thing you can do is drill a hole right through the wall and hook this up on the inside. You don't even have to use one of these glands. In that case, you can just put a little bit of caulk on the outside there. But then you would want to screw this down to hold that tight, and then do that. So I'm hoping that my temporary sloppy rig right there will help somebody figure out how to mount this thing. So, all right, thanks for watching.